Ball's good.
And we are back live in Fountain Valley, California, the 62nd United States Handball Association's four-wall national handball championships, with the continued coverage from the world players of handball. You hear the announcement right now from Danny Bell. Let's go to the announcements right now courtside, as the players putting their hands together for each other and the fans doing the same.
World champion Paul Brady.
That's the announcement right there for Paul Brady, and the gallery likes it. Returning the serve is Dave Fink from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. My name is Dave Vincent, alongside President of the WPH and Hall of Fame member, Fred Lewis.
Well, I haven't got to see either of them play at this tournament, so this should be interesting.
Well, Fink told me that he was going to play Paul Brady in this tournament about a week ago. But most people in their tournament after playing Paul Brady. You see that shot right there that Paul just made about half an inch high?
Did you see how he got positioned to hit it? See, that's the difference. Every shot's important to Paul. Look how he sets up beautifully.
He's unbelievable power right there from Paul Brady. It's like a kill shot off the left side wall on his two-wall pass. Now at 3-0, Paul Brady can get a lead really quick here, Fred.
3-0.
This match started at 1:26 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
That's a good shot by David.
Side out.
The key here is going to be David's serve and whether he can keep his serve off the back wall and get into a volley with him. Pass, beautiful.
Paul Brady's passing ability is unbelievable.
3-0.
I've been watching Paul for years. I've never seen him play a left-hander. It's the first time I've seen him consistently serve down the right side.
0 serves 3.
Usually he just hits that hard reverse down the left because he's playing right-handed players.
Ball, please. Zero serves 3. Good. Second serve.
Yeah, that's a no-no. Got to make Paul hit the ball overhand. It's going to kill you if the ball is down low.
Right out.
And there's another sign out with Paul Brady back in the box.
3-0. Side out. 0 serves 3. Point.
That was a nice shot right down the wall.
1 serves 3. Side out.
One more step, David.
3 serves 1.
Right back at him. Come on, David, down the walls.
Point.
A little desperation there. You can't be doing that.
Four serves 1. Skip, side out.
There's a side out. Fink now back in the box here. United States Handball Association's
One serve,
four-wall national handball championships. That's a setup for Fink. And he pushes it way high for Paul Brady. Paul lunges. Fink's driving those two-wall shots, and then he goes with the paddle kill right there and gets the point. But it seems like Dave Fink's two-wall passes are too close to the front wall. Paul's able to go deep. Such amazing power.
Paul doesn't look that sharp so far. He started out good, but missed a couple setups.
Now Fink serving here at 3-4. Fink's going to watch this back on video and make some corrections.
I like what he's doing. He's battling him right now. Good intensity. That was a nice fly shot off that third wall. Good cutoff by Paul.
4 serves 3.
Look at that little hook, and then Dave hooked it back with a miss hit.
Yeah, Dave looks very comfortable returning that serve.
3 serves 4.
Down the wall.
Side out.
What'd you think, Dave? Could he have gotten that?
I think he could have. I think pro players can get these.
You were in a bad position. He was even on his follow through.
See, this is what I don't like. You should not have somebody refereeing two top matches in a row. They should have gotten another referee for this match. I mean, I'm not faulting Danny, but you know, there is a fatigue factor that sets in.
I'm not sure if it was a good call. I think Dave Fink has the right to argue that.
Well, no question.
Point.
I still felt that after Dave made the contact, he could have still came out of that contact and still at least caught the ball to show that he could have got to it.
Yeah,
Dave
I mean, that
just
was
gave
the
up.
problem. He just ran into him and stopped.
You almost have to fight your way through and say, see, I'm able to get to this.
Point.
Okay. That's right. You said it. You got it. One more step.
6 serves 3.
You heard that score there.
Short. Appeal. I call the ball short. They both agree. You have 1 serve coming.
Nice shot right there. Fink doesn't keep it down though.
Point.
A lot of people are under the impression that Dave Fink yells at the referee and the other player, but he 99% of the time just yelling at himself. Dave's been sanctioned and fined by a lot of organizations, but he doesn't say cuss words on the court, and he just yells at himself.
No, there's nothing wrong with that. As long as you don't let it bother you, which I think it does. I think it detracts from his concentration.
8 serves 3.
Got to do better than that on the return.
Wow, nice right-handed corner kill there
Go.
from David Fink, and he gets a round of applause from the crowd. Dave Fink has had some pretty good wins. A few years back, you recall that he
3
defeated
serves 8.
Sean Linning and Dave Chapman in a tournament up in Pittsburgh, excuse me, in
New
New
York
York.
AC, I was there. Best match he ever played. He played fantastic.
And then
You have 2
yesterday he
serves
defeated
coming,
Nadi
scores
Alvarado, so he
3-8.
can take that name off the list. That's a pretty good career when you can defeat Sean Linning, Nadi Alvarado, and Dave Chapman. And there's been many others as well.
Side out.
I'm just mentioning the guys that have played in the finals of the Nationals from
All right, well,
past years.
see, there's a pattern developing here. He's got to do a better job with his right hand, okay? He's setting Paul up. He's got to hit front side instead of front back.
Let's take a look at this replay. See what you're talking about here.
Right there. You know, he does it again.
That's the shot.
That should go front left side wall. That's what he's got to do.
Sean Linning says you take that ball and you let it start at the palm of your hand and roll out the tip of your fingers as you flip it to the front wall, and it'll jump over to the side wall and actually help you sometimes. A lot of players like to hit that ball at the base of their fingers where it starts into the palm and let it roll out, and it's just not enough movement. Sean likes to roll it all the way through the hand.
Point.
There's just another miss hit right there.
Yeah, he's got to put more into it. He's got to realize he's on the defensive there. It's an important shot. You can't just flip it back.
Like to see Fink just use use a fish shot and pop it to the ceiling with his right from there. He saw Dave Chapman for so many years when he was fading back with his left, he would just pop it to the ceiling, and he learned how to make an incredible defensive return with that.
You know, Dave Fink and I have had conversations because, you know, I've talked to him about his footwork, and, you know, one of the problems is that, you know, he's such a good tennis player, and in tennis, you know, you can hit these inside-outside shots where you've got your feet going in one direction and your arm in another direction, and I just think he's gotten in the habit of doing that. But unfortunately, it doesn't work in a handball court.
Yeah, you're right. Another point for Paul Brady. The gunner is gunning for his 7th national handball championship.
Well,
Dave's not doing a good job of returning serve right now. He's got to do a much better job.
Right out.
He jumped on that one. Okay, he's got to get this serve going right here.
3 serves 12. Short.
See what Dave does here. He hasn't done that 2-wall hard serve.
Well, he's got to make Paul hit the ball overhand. Overhand. Paul will not hurt you overhand. It'll get you into a volley.
3-12. You have 1 serve coming.
There you go. Now he's got a shot to win the volley.
Not with Paul Brady's left hand like that.
Well, you know, he left it short.
12 serves 3.
Right back at him. Unbelievable.
Paul still able to get it. Dave flips it up there. He's going to get this one back as well. Paul makes the hand air, and Dave Fink gets the side out.
Three serves 12.
Duxie Walsh just stepped into our booth here.
Replay.
There's not
Watch
many
his
people,
countrymen.
that can wear a pink shirt. Now the referee calling a replay here, and I think Dave Fink's going to come out and argue, and I don't blame him. This is a terrible play here.
Let's see.
Dave Fink's asking for a new ref.
He's got a point there.
Timeout.
Paul had plenty of time to get in position.
All right. Can someone go get the tournament director?
Dave Fink's asking for the tournament director, trying to
You took a timeout.
Fire the referee. The referee is actually giving Dave a timeout here for this call. Here's the replay. Paul Brady was unable to get to that,
Go down there.
or else he would have just put out his hand to try to get it.
Yeah. Please. Anybody? Gary, maybe?
What do you think?
Well, I don't think it was
Paul could have gotten it. Maybe if he dove for it.
No, you can't dive for that. It was ungettable. If he could have got it, he would have stuck his arm out. The ball hopped away. Now Dave Fink's trying to get rid of the referee, which has done a pretty good job, actually, Danny Bell.
The score is 3 serves 12.
Okay, Dave, stop the crap.
Nice shot.
Just keep going.
Score is 4-12.
Stay focused.
That's short. No call from the referee on that short call. No appeal from Paul Brady. Now 5-12. This is what Dave Fink does as a way to get into his opponent's heads. No difference between Dave Fink and what John McEnroe did in tennis. See, now Paul Brady's thinking about Fink and the antics, and then Fink scores 3 straight points here.
6 serves 12.
Make that 4 straight points, 6-12. That's a good call.
You have 2 serves, 1 screen.
Nice shot down the wall.
And now another point for Dave Fink. The crowd's rooting for anybody other than Paul Brady here.
7 serves 12.
Here's a replay. Let's look at it really quickly here. It looked like Paul came up a little lame there. Fred. Oh, look at that serve. That's a beautiful serve. Paul's going to have to call a timeout, isn't he, Fred?
Nope.
8 serves 12.
That's 6 unanswered points. I guess the way you win tournaments is to try to fire the referee.
Replay, check the ball, please.
I'm going to try that the next time I play, is try to fire the ref.
No,
and if
that's
there's
not
no
how
ref,
you win tournaments. You
No,
win tournaments by playing better than your opponent.
2 serves, the score is 8 plays 12.
okay. I'm just
Right now, Dave is doing a much better job. Much better.
taking
Serves
some
are
notes here.
better. His choice of shots are better. Let's see what he does here. Can't do that.
giving Paul a lot of opportunities here.
You can't go sidewall, front wall when the guy's in front of you. It comes right back. You got to go down the wall, get him out of the front, make him run.
Let's take a replay here as we look at that shot that Dave served to Paul's left here that went behind Paul's back. Look at that ball.
He thought it was going to straighten out, and it just caught the corner.
12 serves 8.
Back into play at 12-8.
Point.
Got a little late start on that.
13 serves 8. Point.
And there's a timeout called from David Fink.
Timeout. The score is 14-8. 1 minute.
You're watching the WPH's continued coverage of the 62nd United States Handball Association's 4-wall National Handball Championships. We're in Fountain Valley, California. Beautiful weather, and all the years, all the times that we've done the live broadcast here, Fred, it's just really never seemed to be this perfect in Southern California. We look at the replay from Paul Brady here, serving it down to Dave's right. And a quick timeout call, and that's where we are at right now, in the middle of a timeout of the upper bracket semifinals of the Pro Men's National Bracket. Earlier today, it was Luis Moreno, Players Champion with the WPH in the race for 8, losing to Charlie Shanks, one of his biggest foes this year. Charlie defeated Luis Moreno at the U.S. Open about 8 months prior.
David took 2.
And he did it again here this weekend, and now Moreno is packing his bags, and Charlie is in the finals of the 4-wall Nationals.
14 serves 8. Side out.
There's a great tune-up for the
Uncharacteristic right there.
great tune-up for the U.S. Open this year, which will take place
8 serves 14.
in late October after the World Championships. And if you want to tune up for the actual Worlds, will be the WAC Classic Handball Tournament that's going to take place September 28th through the 30th. You can register online at r2sports.com. We're at the Players Championship, and the Washington Athletic Club, Fred, is just unbelievable. They're going to host a tournament in September, the WAC Classic It's the Handball Classic, the 28th edition of that handball tournament. And you can go there and prep for the World Championships in Ireland. Go to r2sports.com and register for the WAC Classic. That's going to be September 28th through the 30th.
Well, we've said it so many times. They did such a tremendous job last month running that tournament.
Well, we are in the process of signing a 3-year contract with the Washington Athletic Club Handball Department to have the Players' Championship there every single year. I think that's pretty much a done deal, and there's a side out with Brady now back in. And that's also a plus for the Players' Championship, having that 3-year deal. In the meantime, though, check out their facility September 28th through the 30th for the Handball Classic.
Well, Dave, we're real close to announcing next year's schedule, Race for 8 schedule. We've got one more stop that needs final commitment on the dates, and then I think we'll be ready to make an announcement here real soon.
I know that Salt Lake City contacted me this weekend and said they're back in for the same deal. We just trying to solidify the dates. We also need the dates for the WAC Players Championship. So we're looking for dates for a couple of these tournaments as Paul Brady now scores another point here in game number 1 versus Dave Fink, and then we'll make that announcement for the Pro Tour season, which was widely successful this last year.
Point. 18 serves 8. Point. Serves 8.
You heard the score there. Paul Brady's now trying to attack Dave Fink. This crowd is absolutely packed. Had some people asking me earlier what was coming up next on the schedule. And we will go to 4 straight matches of doubles after this at the conclusion of this one. You're going to see John Iglesias and Charlie Shanks teaming up to go up against Cordoba and Cordoba. And that must be very difficult for Shanks, who is now in the finals, who probably wishes to go back to the hotel and just rest. Paul Brady is not going 2 ways in this tournament. So that means Charlie's going to get another round of play.
Well, I'm sure he'll let Jonathan play left court, do most of the work.
Appeal, I call the ball short. They both agree. You have 1 serve coming.
Well, Charlie's already had 1 extra match longer than Paul Brady in the singles because Paul had a first round bye. So Charlie's already has 1 extra match. Now he's going to have 2 extra before he plays
9 serves 19.
Paul Brady in that finals.
Good.
If Paul Brady were to go on to defeat Dave Fink, Dave's had a pretty good tournament here.
Replay, check it please.
Andy Nett played Paul Brady fairly tough, scoring 15 points in the first game and 10 in the second. And first thing I said to Andy was, congratulations, you did well. And he said, Paul's beatable. That was the same.
Well, you know, it remains to be seen if Charlie enters the match tomorrow, assuming Paul wins again, with the same intensity he had against Luis.
9 serves 19. Short.
You know, the one thing I've seen about Charlie is that you don't know which Charlie is going to show up. The guy that showed up today, you know, is a fantastic player.
I traveled to Ireland a few years back, and Charlie and Paul were sparring Queen's University in Belfast, up near Belfast, Northern Ireland. And Charlie lost 21-20 against Paul.
Well, you know, the thing about Charlie is, you know, he's so dangerous when he's got his serve going. And, you know, he's got offense with both hands.
Dave Fink scores another point.
11 serves 19.
Now at 11-19. Ooh, that could be another one. Paul's saying 2 bounces.
Nice call.
Very good call from Paul Brady right
That's
there,
a
who
point.
raises his hand and lets everybody know that that was 2 bounces on the return. He could have just played that. It's a very good call. And now you see Dave Fink congratulating Paul, saying thank you.
12, serves 19.
Dave Fink's very intense, but if he sees sportsmanship, he'll recognize it. Short ball.
Second serve.
You see a lot of confidence from Fink in that box right now, Fred. And that's a miss hit from Paul Brady. I guess that's what happens when you let everybody know that it was a double bounce. Someone awards you with a miss hit.
No, replay. It's a replay. Happened so quick. It's a replay.
Dave thinks that Paul kind of walked in front of him on this shot.
He did. He's trying to get front court position. Dave's absolutely correct.
19-12.
See Paul once again, like all the other players, are worried about that back wall. They know that that door is open.
See?
Yeah.
He could have gone backwards. He could have gone
to the left.
Instead, he ran right in front of him.
But I think that if he ran forward, let's look at the replay one more time. He also has another option here. And I think this is because Paul does not play a lot of left-handers. Does he know he has this option? But Paul runs forward here, Fred. He can actually go to the right. He could have gone forward and to the right and out of the way and still been in good position.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if he had the time to go to the right. It just, you know, it happened very quickly. So look, see? In other words, just the fact he ran in front of Dave, it distracted Dave where he didn't have good side of the ball.
Well, they're replaying that, but Dave wants the avoidable.
Dave wanted the avoidable.
They gave him the screen, but
I agree with him.
you're watching the WPH's continued coverage of the 62nd United States Handball Association's 4-Wall National Handball Championships.
Got 30 seconds.
Heard the referee tell the players they have 30 seconds. This is the men's semifinals upper bracket. Winner faces Charlie Shanks tomorrow in the finals of the 62nd USHA National Handball Championships. Dave Fink had a little bit of momentum there.
Brady serving. The score is 19, plays 12.
I'll tell you though, in defense to Danny Bell, watching that live when it was that replay before, you know, not in slow-mo, but actually in live regular speed, it didn't look as much like an avoidable until you watched it in slow-mo. Then it really looked like it was something you put on a video if you were explaining what an avoidable was.
Exactly.
But that's how fast this game is. Sometimes as a referee, you become a spectator and you're watching the ball come to the front wall and you want to make sure there's no bad bounces on the wall, and then you have to look at the position of the players. There's a lot to process there.
Well, the key is whenever there is a close play where the players are, you know, within close proximity to one another, you have to watch the offensive player and see how much he's struggling. And then that'll tell you whether or not to call a hinder.
Side out.
Guy's not struggling. If he sets up on the ball, if he sees the ball, you let him take the shot.
19 serves 12.
Be a huge setup for Paul Brady, and he just goes right after it. Now at 20-12.
Yeah, Dave's got to come out of that right-hand corner a lot better than what he's doing right
20
now.
possible game points, serves 12.
shot.
Side out.
Good hustle.
Well, serves 20. Short. Second serve. Side out.
There's a side out. Paul Brady now serving once again to take the
20
first game.
serves 12.
This is a good rally here, Fred.
Skid. Ball skid.
I didn't see it. He's appealing a slide. You saw a slide? You didn't see a slide?
I don't
That's
think
the
a
point.
player
That's the side out.
manufactures these slide calls,
I thought it was good.
Fred. I think that when you see a slide as a
Side
player,
out.
you call it because you know it's a slide. I'm not saying take the player's word every single time, but Paul's not going to make that up.
12 serves 20.
Look at that ball. You can see that it clearly slides on the side wall. And it could be because of a reverse or a spin.
What was that, the ball or is?
Yeah, I mean, it could be no one checked the ball, though. I always hate that. But it looked like, maybe there's some spin on it. But
Well.
I can clearly see the ball slide on that
Side
ball.
out.
And I know,
Once upon a time, the rule is that, the only time you would
20
replay a
serves
slider is when it slid on the floor and not the wall.
Short.
Because when you get on a court, that's susceptible to having a lot of moisture, you're going to have, a slide on almost every ball that hits the side wall.
well, this
And
court
that makes for very boring handball.
Point.
There it is. Paul Brady takes down Dave
5
Fink
minutes.
21-12 and closes out the first game. We're also going to say, well, goodbye for about 4 minutes, just like the players are before they get suited up for game number 2 for Fred Lewis and Jeff Kastner and Linda Manning. My name is Dave Vincent. It's the continued coverage from the World Players of Handball for the 62nd United States Handball Association's 4-Wall National Handball Championships. We'll have game 2 of the men's semifinals between Paul Brady and Dave Fink coming up in about 4 minutes. Stick with us.
about to start the second game.
And we are back live from Fountain Valley, California for the 62nd United States Handball Association's 4-Wall National Handball Championships. With Dave Fink serving to Paul Brady after losing the first one, 21-12. My name is Dave Hitson. We appreciate the fact that you've tuned in for this semifinal match. Dave Fink gets the first point here in the second game.
1-0.
There's a short ball.
Second serve.
Oh, nice shot inside out. Dave Fink goes right corner kill. Paul thought he was going to go down the right wall. That was a smart shot from Dave Fink.
2-0. The score is 2-0.
That's right. Danny Bell has an accent, French-Canadian accent, and Dave Fink thought he said something else.
Side out. 0 serves 2.
Score 0-2.
Short.
Boy, Paul Brady not only hit that ball 90+ miles an hour, he also put a wrinkle on it back into Dave's body. The only thing you can do is just flip the ball back. Now Paul's going to probably argue with the referee here just a little bit. Now he's looking up at the ref, and if we can look at a replay, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Paul Brady didn't have enough room to swing for that ball.
2-0.
But he doesn't argue like some of the other players.
Side out.
Beautiful return from Paul Brady.
0 serves 2. Short.
This is a packed gallery.
Second serve.
Players converging to watch one of the greatest players we've ever had to play the sport of handball, Paul Brady, going after his 7th national championship. Dave Chapman has 9. Nadia Alvarado Sr. has 11.
Side out.
Fred Lewis has 6. Paul Brady has 6.
2-0. Point.
Now 3-0, Dave Fink up here in the second game.
3 serves 0. Side out. Zero serves 3. Side out. Three serves 0. Side out. He's appealing a bad bounce off the glass. Nobody saw it. That's a side out. The score is 0, plays 3.
Score 0-3.
Replay that.
That's a quick replay call, but the right call from Danny Bell. Paul Brady flying in from Ireland a few days ago. Dave Fink from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Paul Brady from Cavan Town, near that area, County Cavan. He's listed as a person who lives in Dublin, but he really isn't from Dublin.
3.
That's a nice shot right there, and also a great camera angle from the WPH. Paul Brady watching that ball come out. It's like seeing it come out of a
2 serves 3.
out of a taser gun.
Replay.
Beautiful shot on that replay. Brought to you by the World Players of Handball, streaming
2
live
serves 3.
these national championships.
Strike. Second serve. Point. Three serves 3.
Both of these players overhitting the ball, and Dave Fink closed it out and gets the round of applause from the crowd. You see Paul Brady pushing the roof down, telling himself,
3 serves 3.
slow down, big guy. We're all together at 3 here. And a miss hit from Dave Fink.
Three serves 3. Nice call, thank you. That's a point. 4 serves 3.
Brady wins the first one 21-12, now at 4-3 here in game number 2.
Point.
The National Handball audience is fast. A lot of players here.
5 serves 3. Strike. Second serve.
Some contact between Dave and Paul.
Point.
Here's a replay of where that contact took place.
Sorry. The score is 6 plays 3. Short.
Dave Fink did have opportunities after that strange shot from Paul Brady.
Second serve.
But I can see why he's arguing. The referee should have called it earlier. That's a miss hit from Fink, still makes a front wall. Paul Brady pushes it down the right. Paul's left hand is so strong.
Seven serves 3.
That was a nice shot from Dave Fink, who just rolls it out. Paul Brady lifts his hand, lets the ref know that it was a double bounce.
3 serves 7.
Now Fink serving at 3-7.
Side out. He's appealing the serve. I call the serve good. You disagree? You agree? That's a side out.
Let's look at this
I got
replay
my own
here.
linesman.
Let's look again. I think the ball's short. It's short by 2
I
inches.
positively thought it was good.
You can see on the replay, this is where the ball stops, and it's short by 2 inches.
I know him. He's a very good player too. Let's play ball. The score is 3 plays 7.
You heard the call from Danny Bell wrong. He said the score is 3 plays 7. It actually should have been Paul Brady at 8-3 because Paul scored a point there. Instead, Danny gave the side out to Dave Fink on the scorecard, so Paul's trailing by 1, technically. He should have 8.
Point.
And now
Sorry,
that should be
that's
9.
a side out. That was a point, sorry.
Now Danny's confused.
Scores 8, serves 3.
Now Danny says 8-3, it really should be 9-3. He corrected himself and then found out he was wrong. Now it's 9-3.
9, serves 3.
These are not easy matches to ref. Paul Brady just pushing Dave Fink back and forth, right and left.
10, serves 3. I mean, the ball was never close to Paul. It tracked over there. It was bad positioning from your part. I'm sorry. It was high, but you had plenty of time, and he wasn't in your way. Call that a point. I'm sorry. The score is 11, plays 3.
Let's take a look here. Dave said he never saw it. Danny Bell said you had plenty of time. Dave said, well, I had plenty of time, but I never saw it.
Second serve.
I think it was the right call by the referee.
Well, serves 3. Side out. Three serves 12.
That ball went out in the gallery.
Replay.
I'd like to see the rules of handball change to where a ball goes out in the gallery. It's a side out or
Three serves 12.
a point, depending on who's serving.
Point.
There's no reason for you to send a ball out into the gallery.
4 serves 12.
I know in racquetball they do that. It's the same rule.
Side out.
I know some players, and I've actually seen it and talked to them about it, that will go into the court when nobody's around and practice on hitting the ball out into the gallery so they can get back into the server's box. I think that's where the problem is. When a player starts doing that, then therefore the rule is wrong. You just replay it, but that's, if I'm a server and I have a good serve and I'm hot and I'm in a terrible situation on a 40-shot rally, I might jack one to the ceiling.
Score is 12, serves 4.
To allow it to go into the gallery so I can go back into the server's box. And I've seen it multiple times. Fred, I know you and I talked about this off the air a few times, but a player hitting the ball purposely to the roof so it will go out into the gallery so they can get back into the server's box means that there's probably some kind of defect in the rule.
It should be a technical.
But you can't prove it. That's the thing.
Well, that's the thing.
4 serves 12. Side out. I call the serve good. They both disagree. That's a short. The score is 4-12. One serve. Side out.
There's another side out.
12 serves 4. Point.
Putting up a fight.
Dave Fink putting up a fight here.
13 serves 4.
Brady's serving at 13-4. Lost the first one to Dave Fink, 21-12.
Point.
Dave Fink lost the first one, 21-12.
14 serves 4.
Now Paul's starting to run off here.
Side out.
Okay, we need to see some serves.
4
Key to the
serves
game.
14. Point.
There you go, serve and shoot.
5 serves 14.
Score here is 5-13. You heard the call from the referee. Dave Fink goes up top. I think that's a smart shot if you can keep it up there with Paul.
Well, that's the thing. See, he just made a mistake by going for a kill. He hit front side, and then Paul got a little lazy on it and missed the shot. It's very uncharacteristic of Paul.
Serves 14.
I think Paul's a little bored, Fred.
Think so? I've never seen him get bored.
Side out. He's appealing a bad bounce. I saw the ball good. Side out. 14, serve 6. Short. Appeal, I call the ball short. Agree. Second serve. Side out. 6 serves 14.
6 serves 14. Dave Fink trying to prove me wrong here when I said that Paul was bored. Paul Brady told me off the record here that it's difficult playing against like Dave Fink because he doesn't give up. He plays hard on every single shot. And he said it's a challenge, and he actually looks forward to doing it because it's somebody new and it's different and it's a style that, you know, that he's not used to. And I think that's what makes a guy like Paul Brady such a great champion, is that he really wants to play these different players. You know, he's really inviting Luis Moreno to come to the World Championships. He wants to be challenged. He doesn't want to just have it, you know, given to him in a package, Fred. He wants to be against the best players.
The score is 14-6.
Well, that's why he's such a great champion, because he's always looking for challenges. That's what champions do. He wants to prove himself over and over and over again, and he's done it.
Score is 14-6. I am now standing up in the booth because I'm trying to find the wind. There's no air conditioning out here in the booth, Fred.
You want wind? I'll give you some wind.
Is that in the form of a check?
Never mind.
Okay. You're watching the 62nd United States Handball Association's four-wall National Handball Championships and continued coverage from the World Players of Handball. My name is Dave Vincent. This here is Fred Lewis, who has won a few national championships, 6 in fact, tied with Paul Brady, and he's going to pass you if he wins this year with his 7th. But tell me about Paul Brady and in the history of looking at all of those great handball players, the Nadia Alvarados and the Paul Habers, Jimmy Jacobs, those that you've played against. I'm not asking you to rank them, but how does Paul Brady fare when it comes to the technique, his left hand, his right hand, his mental ability, and his focus?
Well, you know, Paul is what I would call a complete player. He's got it all. He's got, you know, the same mentality, the champion's mentality that Paul Haber, Nadia Alvarado, Dave Chapman had. Plus, he's in tremendous conditioning. And so when you put it all together, you know, Paul is the total package. You know, he's right up there. You know, as far as ranking, you know, I'd put him up there with Dave and with Nadia as the greatest, you know, players of the last 20 or 30 years.
Second serve.
You know, the game has changed so much, you know, since then.
Point.
Jimmy Jacobs had just so much unbelievable physical talent and was a very smart player. Paul Haber was the greatest competitor, one of the greatest competitors that we've ever played against, would do just about anything to win. And, you know, Paul is, he's right up there. And he's, as far as I'm concerned, he's the most admired handball player that I've seen in the last 15 years or so. Not taking anything away from Dave Chapman, but Paul is just the total package.
The way he moves his feet and gets into the hitting position is probably about as good as you've seen.
Well, that's
Fred.
what I love about him. To him, every shot is important.
Right out.
You'll see that every now and then from Paul Brady, but he always gets his feet in the right spot. He was going for an open hand and he decided to change to fist, and then he just mishit it off his hand.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what's expected when you do that.
What happened? Contact?
A little contact.
Paul Brady is, Fred, is very fair on the court as well. We've seen that time in and time again. He calls it the way it is.
Point.
And there's another point for Dave Fink now at 7.
Well, there's no question Dave's been battling him all the way.
Dave Fink has had a great tournament to this point.
Replay, replay. It did slide.
So this court is sliding.
7-18. Point.
Yeah, looks like Paul let down a little bit there, uncharacteristically.
8 serves 18.
Dave Fink with a little natural hook.
Point.
There's a good sequence there. He made a good serve, got a setup,
9
ran
serves
it down the
18.
wall, got another setup, and then put it away.
Point.
It's great stuff. He's putting the ball right down the
You
walls.
have,
Great stuff.
Towel, sorry.
Fred, do you think that a young, inspiring player could go and watch one of these events on video, even live, and learn some things from the pros?
Oh, absolutely. They know what to look for.
I know as a child growing up, I absolutely loved watching baseball, and I would probably average at least one game a day at the age of 10 through 25, probably,
10 serves 18.
during baseball season. And I learned so much from
Well, you're a student of the game. There's a
watching
big
that.
difference between, you know, people that are spectators and those that are students.
Point.
Nice shot right there from Dave Fink, who gets the point.
Yeah, as long as he keeps the ball down the walls, he's going to be in good shape.
11-18.
If you were to play Paul Brady from the time that you serve the ball, what would you try to do, Fred?
From the time I serve or he serves?
From the time you served, you would serve down a wall and hope for a weak return that you can not kill but pass?
18 serves 11.
That depends on his positioning. You know, Paul likes to rush to the front of the court, so if he was rushing the front of the court, I'd be driving the ball a lot. If I was going for a shot, then I'd try and shoot the ball straight down one wall or the other. As soon as you bring the ball back in the center of the court, he's going to make you pay.
Point. 19 serves 11. Point.
It's match
20,
point
possible
coming up.
Game and match point serves 11.
Paul Brady serves here.
Short.
Goes for that drive down the right wall with a slight reverse, but more or less just a straight serve. That one pops out.
Nice shot.
Here it is. Paul Brady's going to go for it. Pushes Dave back and gets it. Paul Brady advances to the finals to face Charlie Shanks. It'll happen tomorrow morning as Dave Fink goes down here after a Cinderella-like story. Dave Fink making it to the semifinals, but Paul Brady taking him down to go into the finals one more time at the National Championships. Paul will be seeking number 7 here in Fountain Valley, California. It's nice to see Paul Brady playing back to his form, and also really good to see Dave Fink having a strong, very successful handball tournament, taking down Nadi Alvarado earlier in this event. You're watching the WPH's continued coverage of the United States Handball Association's four-wall National Handball Championships. Men's finals will be tomorrow at 12:30 p.m. Charlie Shanks and Paul Brady. For Fred Lewis, as well as Jeff Kastner and Linda Manning, my name is Dave Vincent. We'll have more action coming up right around the corner with the men's doubles round of 8 between John Iglesias, Charlie Shanks, his doubles partner, Luis and Danny Cordova. That will kick off at, they say, 15 minutes from now, so stick close here at racefor8.com.
My name is Bruce Fabrizio. In 1975, I invented Simple Green based on 3 principles. It had to be safer to use, it had to work, and it had to be completely made in America. From generation to generation, Simple Green has been cleaning everything from car engines and tools to kitchen counters and floors. No matter what you clean, indoors or outdoors, clean it with non-toxic, biodegradable Simple Green.
For 20 years, the Inner City Handball Association has educated, mentored, and served young people through handball. Young people that participate in the Inner City Handball Association programs have a high graduation rate from high school and continue on to college. Inner City Handball teams are good athletes, good students, and good ambassadors for the sport of handball. We need your help to continue our work. Inner City Handball Association is a registered 501c3 tax-exempt charity. Please donate today. Thank you.
Working and working out takes a lot of energy. That's why I drink Zenergy. Feeling fantastic and looking good has never been easier. Science, extreme science for your active lifestyle.